Hello, this is Mer171. This is the next in my series of how to take down a gun videos. What we have before us is the Keltec KSG. Basically, I'm going to field strip a KSG for you guys. Field strip videos. Alright, first, whoa, bump the camera there. We can verify it's unloaded. You can see the two followers. And there is the chamber. Notice it is not loaded. Okay. It's always good to visually check and to physically check, if possible. Now, what's next is to push the forearm forward like so, and to remove the two takedown pins. 1, 2. You push them out. They do protrude on the other side, so that you can push them with your finger, push them out. You may have to use a punch if you don't have the finger strength. But then you can take them, grab one. See the takedown holes that Keltec has implemented in their handle. And here's number 2. Alright, into the second takedown hole. My KSG format video points these out for you in case you're having trouble seeing where I'm putting these through. Okay, now with that done, you can pull off the lower portion of the gun by removing it from the back, pulling it to the front. I like to grab it by the grip there. Notice that the back's up, front's still down. Here's the front. And then you pull it out. You are pulling it out from this lip. That's why you can't pull it by the front first. There's a good look at the lower for you guys. Alright. Now, with that done, you can now remove the back. Now, to remove the back, you may have to, whoa! You can pull it. You may have to hit it with a rubber mallet. Tap it, don't hit it. Okay, that's out. As you see, I just pulled mine. Next is the bolt, which you push this all the way back. You can see it on its back. You rotate it 90 degrees. You can just pull it out. Here's the bolt for you guys. That's the locking mechanism you see going up and down. Alright. Now you can take that apart. I don't recommend it unless you know what you're doing, so please don't. And for a field strip, you won't do that. Now next you can see that you got the DFE link in there, but you don't remove that yet. You remove that when you've taken off the magazine caps. The magazine caps are removed by using a quarter or similar device, like a great big flathead screwdriver, but I would worry about marring it, so Keltec designed to be used with a quarter. Now, when doing this, you turn one tube a quarter to a half-inch turn, and then the next tube a quarter to the half-inch turn, and then you alternate. This is so that you take it off evenly. You'll feel it start to bind if you go too far on one, so go moderately slow, but make sure that you keep alternating. Now, this takes a second, bear with me, but as you can see, a quarter is very effective at it. Now, when they can spin freely, you have them all the way undone. Notice that there's no more tension or anything. Now, that means that you can start to pull the barrel off. Now, before you remove the whole barrel assembly, get the DFE link, like so, and you're going to have to push it down here in the front. It is spring retention. So now, okay, there we go. Now here's the DFE link. grab the DFE link, bring it down, set it to the side so that it's out of the way. Now you can pull apart the whole assembly, the whole upper and lower assemblies, or the upper and middle assembly if you want to refer to this guy as the lower. Now, that is a field strip on this particular gun. That's how you take it apart. I mentioned in a later video my concerns with the latch system they have here, but that's it when the gun is unassembled. You can see that this one's pretty dirty. I've shot some rounds through it. But these are the two tubes. Now if you want to take these off, you can unscrew that. I don't recommend it, and neither does Kel-Tec. But that would expose the followers. But this is what it looks like unassembled. See if I can't get you a better view. Alright, here we go. That's what it looks like. Those are the pieces on a field strip Keltec KSG. Okay, now to reassemble the Keltec KSG from the disassembled field strip configuration, you begin by taking the barrel assembly and the receiver with tube mags and placing them in line with each other, like so. Slide the tube mags through the forearm slot. There we go. And bring them most of the way together. Now, take your DFE link, like so, place it in the slot. Now you want to take the DFE link and you want to slide it under the latch bars. These bars right here. You want to make sure that that's in between them and under it, like so. Now, if you don't do that, it'll wind up being in the way. Also, if you forget to put your DFE link back in there, you will have to disassemble the upper and receiver apart again. It gets kind of annoying if you forget, so do that. Now, as you're sliding this on, push the DFE link down. Again, it is spring. Bring the forearm over it with the forearm bar. That will hold it in place for you, kind of. If you shake it, it will come out of place. Now, the key to this is you have to line these tubes up with the front of the KSG. They have grooves that go in. You can see the screws. There, I'll zoom in for you guys. But these tubes have to go in to this metal frame there. Now, other thing to remember is you have to line up the barrel with the receiver. Make sure that gets into the right groove. But most of the time, if you're going to bind up here. So make sure those tubes are lined up in the holes. There we go. Wiggle it, do what it takes. Now, at this point, you're going to want to start tightening these tubes. I like to use my finger, and that will allow you to feel it when it starts to engage. And then again, it's quarter to half turns once it's engaged. Once you've got that, again with the quarter. And you just keep going, one by one. Make sure that's actually lined up. I don't believe it. Okay, yeah, it's good. Now, again, you want to go evenly with this. And it is a quarter to a half turn. I'm just making sure that they're engaged in the threading. Okay. Now once they're engaged, you can proceed. Now if it gets off, in other words, if one is engaged more than the other, it will try to go in unevenly. That's not good. Other thing to remember is, I like to do half turns just by this way, is that the barrel must be fully seated in the receiver. Now how is that so? This must be flush. This bar must be flush with the receiver. You notice we're coming to the end. There we go. I think we're there. Now, don't over torque these. Don't get out pliers and turn the quarter. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. Just get them snug. You can turn them. Pretty much, if you could put leverage on the quarter, what you could put on a quarter is tight enough. Okay, those are on there. Notice that the DFE link is still in here and it's still under the action bar, the forearm bar. Okay, and remember, biggest note is to make sure the barrel is flush with the receiver. If this is not flush, you will have a problem. Basically, you won't be able to fire the gun in battery, and that can cause all kinds of problems. So, just double check that. Make sure it's flush. Okay, now it's time to put the bolt into the gun. Now, to do that, we take the bolt, put it in at a 90-degree turn, like so, and then rotate it, like so. Now, once it's rotated, you will want the lips of the bolt to be in front of the carrier here. Notice that is in front of the carrier. You can see how it engages right there. Okay, well anyway, next I like to pull that forward so I can slide on the back plate of the gun. Now, when sliding the back plate of the gun on, I'm going to zoom out for you guys. Now, when putting the back of the gun on, make sure that your lifter is down. Now, at this point, it will hit the bolt if you don't get the bolt out of the way. I like to pick it up so that this will slide on freely. Now, instead of resting on the top or the roof of the receiver, now rests on the top part of this back plate. You can see it moving around in there. Let's get a spot right here. It rests on that. Now, with that on, you can pull the bolt forward, pull the action bar, the forearm forward, and finish putting it on the back plate, which is going to take a little bit of leverage. I like to press. It must be flush right here, and the takedown pinhole must be lined up. Alright, and again, the DFE link must be behind this lip and under the shell latch bars. Now, with that done, now we're putting the lower back onto the gun. Now take the lower, put the lip of the lower, which you can see right here, into the lip on the magazine tubes. It will go under it, like so. Bang. Kind of like a hinge. Then next you want to line up, I'm going to zoom in for you guys. The hammer, which is this guy right here, with the groove in the back plate. Let's see if I can't get a view on that. Just this guy. That hammer's got to slide in that groove, like so. Okay. Once that's done, you will want to push it down. As you can see, it kind of gets in place there. And you take one of your pins out of your pin storage hole. And you can slide the pin in one of these holes, like so. Boom. There's one hole. Boom. Here's the other hole. Now, hold that together with your thumb so that it does stay tight while you line it up. Now, it should be assembled back to spec at this point. Whoa, losing control of my camera. But you can function test it. For example, here's the action release. It does release the forearm to come back, which it did. You can check, make sure the shell lifter is functioning as designed, which it is. And here's the followers. Press on them. they are moving. That's a good sign. Selector still selecting. Haha. And the safety still working. Safety. Down to fire. Which again is also releasing form as designed. Now, safety still working. Alright, now your shotgun should be together, should still be functioning. And hopefully you cleaned it in between there if necessary. But that is how to field strip a Keltec KSG. Now this is Murr171. I'm going to make a bunch more of these videos. Again, I don't know how helpful they are to everybody, so please leave me some comments on how to improve them if you have any questions about them. And I will try to make them better if there's any problems. And this is Murr171. Thank you for watching. More videos to come. Please subscribe.